A webcam, which can work standalone, can be linked to a projector or monitor, runs Android, has 180-degree super wide field of view, has AI detection for all participants, and doesn't cost a fortune? Does that thing really exist? Let's inspect. Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Michael, and if you happen to be on the channel for the first time, we inspect here cool, fresh tech like this device by Kandao called the Meeting S, which happens to be the most advanced web camera you've ever seen. Most advanced because it has an operating system embedded, so it can function totally independently from any other devices, so you can connect it to a monitor through an HDMI cable or a beamer or whatever you decide, or it can function as a regular web camera being connected to your computer, but with some really nice and interesting AI capabilities. Full disclosure at the beginning, I have the unit for 3 weeks of testing and then I'm going to return it back, and since web cameras are not among the priorities of this channel, Kandao offered a sponsorship for this video. They don't have any editorial rights on the content, and I'm going to share both the advantages and the disadvantages of this web camera. So if you happen to have any further questions on top of this, please comment below, and as usual, I'm going to keep an eye on what you have to say down in the comment section. So let's go straight to the actual review. And by the way, Kandao, if you have never heard of the company, actually they have produced the first 360-degree camera that I have reviewed on the channel, so obviously a company with a lot of experience on ultra-wide lenses and sensors. And since this here is a 180-degree lens with a very interesting image sensor, I would say yes, they do have pretty good experience with this kind of stuff. The Meeting S in particular is quite unique, and I can't really point to any alternatives because thanks to the AI and the awesome lens positioning, it can do marvelous things like showing your face, not only when you're alone, but also when you are together with other people in front of the camera. Priced at $599, it is indeed quite expensive, but also, given the investment in AI technologies, the computing system integrated with Android as an operating system, it eliminates the need of a computer. Just link it to a monitor or projector, and you can join any meeting using any of the popular platforms, which unsurprisingly are well included. I know that you want to see the real life performance and test image quality and similar, but prior to that, let's see the unboxing, get to know about the tech specs, and I'll also guide you through both use cases, using it as a standalone device or connecting to a PC. It arrives in a big box apparently, because what we have inside also is big. User guide first. Please do take some time and read it, because there are so many good functions that if you forget about any of those cool ones, it will be a pity. Each of the modes can add great value to your online meeting experience. As you can notice, a nice remote, something like an Air mouse, optional charger, and yes, please, here's the camera itself. Called Meeting S, this is the 180-degree edition. A side note, Kandao also have the model called just Meeting. It's also nice and it covers a full 360-degree vision of your room. I still can't decide whether the Meeting S looks more like a very tall R2-D2 or a thin-looking astronaut. If you have any other suggestions, add a comment about it below. Quite many ports are involved. LAN port is a starter. For the record, an embedded Wi-Fi module is also present. Type-C for connection to a PC, HDMI out, microSD slot, Type-C port for charging, and also a full-sized USB where you can connect a keyboard and mouse or a flash drive. At the bottom, there's a 1/4-inch mount suitable for most tripods. In terms of connectivity, ports are a lot more than even some expensive Android TV boxes. Looking at you, NVIDIA Shield TV. I also have a list with the top tech specs inside. Video resolution is Full HD, ultra-wide 180-degree lens, 8 omnidirectional inbuilt microphones, a 5-watt speaker, 4 gigs RAM, the many connectivity ports we've just mentioned, dual-band Wi-Fi support, 64 GB inbuilt memory, and weight of around 770 grams. Think of all this as a very advanced, ultra-wide-angle web camera with own Android operating system, very good sound, and the ability to work without your computer. All you need is a connection to a TV or monitor, So easy to set up, and it can be quite portable because with consumption of close to 0.5 amps, you can easily use a power bank for quite a long time. I know Kandao are great about image quality, but it is of course our task and goal to test it here. And I would like to show you all the different AI camera modes. Let's start with the most important part. This is the perfect webcam if you want to have a conference call and film a few different people with just one unit. Like in this case, 3 people, well, technically 4, but the 4th member is still work in progress. You can switch to a dedicated AI mode which has face recognition, and you can see that each one of us shows up on the screen as if it is a separate camera. And it's not. All of this is filmed with just the Kandao Meeting S. How do we do that? Well, very simple. All you need are a few cables. So the first thing we're going to do is to connect the power through this USB port. There you go. And the power source could be a USB port from the computer or a power bank. So if you use a power bank, yes, this can be totally portable, so you can have it outdoors. The other thing you need to do through the HDMI port, which happens to be right here. So we connect an HDMI cable, and the other end of the HDMI cable can go to a monitor or a beamer, and that's how you do it. To control everything, you have this very easy to use, it's called an air mouse. It's called an air mouse because obviously you do have the buttons, the control buttons, but also it can be used as a real mouse because it has a gyroscope inside and it can follow your hand's movements. So controlling the whole thing is pretty easy. You can browse and find Skype, Zoom, Google Meet, BlueJeans, Slack, and many more. They're available, so all you have to do is to log in or point to the session ID and join the conference. I'd like to guide you through the interface for a minute, and know that this interface is only accessible if you connect to a monitor or a beamer. The home screen is the gateway to the installed apps. You can also use the camera tool, which immediately launches the camera, and you can choose among the available modes. This can be done using the remote or by short pressing the mode button. Once you get to the mode that you prefer, press and hold the mode button and it's going to lock the camera into this position. If you're concerned that there is no way to remember all of that, no worries. At any point of time, you can go to the camera manual and review the 4 possible modes and choose the one that you favor the most. If you cannot find the preferred meeting app, just navigate to the App Store, not to be mistaken with Apple's App Store, of course. What I really liked is the possibility to record your meetings on an SD card. This can be invaluable and something that is so often challenging for most softwares to provide. Second major use case, connected to a computer. You can do pretty much the same, this time with the convenience of being able to count on using your own computer. So if you need to switch between modes, we use the exactly same approach, either the remote control or by pressing the mode button. Very nice is the option to mute during the call, and this will have a visual expression by switching the LED stripe to red. If it is green, the unit is up and running and ready to use. Blue means that the camera is on and you probably are enjoying a meeting already. It's a very interesting camera, so yes, of course I've tried to connect it to a smartphone or a tablet, but no matter what I've tried, it's only recognized as an external speaker. Well, at least it can be used for something. Now, analyzing the image quality, there are a few very important things to notice. First of all, the AI. It's really good about face recognition and tracking the person that actually is talking. It makes you feel as if you're being followed by an operator with a camera. This can be invaluable for teachers and presenters that cannot afford having an operator all the time. The quality is remarkable for a 180-degree lens, and what surprised me the most is how good and non-distort the image is at the edges of the lens. From my experience with action cameras and similar, I know it is very hard to achieve. Oh, and if privacy is needed, just cover the lens. Time for our regular audio testing, and this is how the microphone picks the sound from a nearby location. That's my buddy Victor from distance. Yeah, kind of. Can you say something proper?
Hi.
How are you doing? How's the weather down there?
It's really good.
So that's how the microphone sounds. Did I find any drawbacks about this buddy? Well, actually, whatever it's supposed to do, it truly delivers in a most exceptional way. I'm not going to be too judgmental about the AI tracking in dark environments because it's really complicated, and I'm sure that's something that in time is going to get only better. Well, to the things that took me a bit longer, for example, logging into Google Meet, I would say that's rather complicated procedure. Definitely, I missed the option for connecting an external microphone. Maybe next time Kandao may think of adding a streaming option, maybe for YouTube or Facebook and similar. And the possibility for adding gesture controls. Just ideas. But in the end, this device made me wow. This is the ultimate must-have camera option for every office, home-based teleworker, or grandma and grandpa that wants to easily have visual contact with relatives or other family members that are far away. Conclusion time, and it's very important for me to hear what you guys and girls have to say about Kandao's Meeting S. Well, obviously a bit expensive, but given all the AI tracking capabilities, the really good hardware inside the standalone operating system, I think it's well justified. Or maybe you have another opinion, which I would gladly read about in the section below the video. And thank you very much for watching this episode. If you're interested into getting one, of course, I'm going to link the product in the description below the video. Wish you a fantastic day, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.